what's happening? Is there some reason why you want to Photoshop a cat uh, with a Komodo dragon body burning some guy in the middle of a smoky field like this one? Well, just in case that's something that you actually want to do, I'll show you how right now. So as you can see, I've got a few things already kind of prepared in layers. I tried showing the whole process in a previous attempt at this video, but it was taking way too long. It was like way over like 15 minutes, and I didn't think you'd be very excited by that. But basically, I'm going to take this background and I'm going to grab a picture of a Gila monster, which is this guy. Actually, I think it's a Komodo dragon. And I have copied that image and I pasted it on the background. Now I rotated a little bit. I kind of erased a few things here with my eraser tool so that I could make it look like the smoke is kind of, going in front of him a little bit, but not much. And obviously, copying him and tracing him, that took like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and it was really boring, so I kind of skipped all of that. And I copied him and I pasted him there, rotated it a little bit, scaled it up so that it matched the background. And then after I did that, I actually went here, if you can see my mouse, and I duplicated the layer. I filled it with black, and I ended up with a shape that kind of looks like this after erasing some of the extra stuff. So if you look at it with a 100% opacity, it's actually kind of this big black shape with a blur on it. But once I turn the opacity down a little bit, it really kind of makes it look like it's underneath him, and he looks like he's really part of the background environment now. So then what I did was I found this charming fellow named Seymour, and I cut out his face, and I did the same thing where I did a little mask and I deleted everything around him, and I pasted him on top of the Gila monster like this. And I also went up here and I did a little photo filter adjustment, and I made it so that it was a warmer image. Unfortunately, I was on the shadow layer just then, but you get the idea. Up to here, adjustments, photo filter. You can see that it kind of warms it up. That looks a little better, actually. I'm going to keep it a little on the warmer side. I also used a clone stamp tool, and then I added some hair on top of his arms and his body, but I wasn't really nuts about the effect. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to get rid of some of the hair right now. I don't really think it's necessary. It doesn't really add anything to it. Well, it kind of does. I'll leave a little bit of it. Now this is a shadow layer that I'm turning on. I did a little airbrushing. It's a little harsh right now, so I'm going to turn down the opacity so it looks a little more natural. Then what I did was I added something called a lens flare, which looks like this. The reason why it looks so realistic is because I'm using a screen, as you can see here, a screen blend effect. If I just used a normal blend effect, you would see the whole black background. But the trick is finding something in a black background and hitting screen. You could also use linear dodge add for a really bright effect. But I feel like for something like a lens flare, you want to kind of keep it at screen. It's a little less harsh. And then I duplicated it and I put one over there on that side. So that kind of gets us up to speed to where I was in the other video that didn't turn out too good. So now this is good. We're only at the 4-minute mark, and hopefully haven't burned your attention span too much. I'm going to copy a fireball because this is what adults do with their lives. And I'm going to paste that right now over this. Now it's a little big. We're going to scale this down, rotate it, and make it really look like it's coming out of him, coming out of that mouth. And I'm going to use that screen effect again. So now everything you see. Boy, I don't know if this guy's chances are not doing too good right now. He doesn't look like he's having a good day. All right, so there you go. We'll zoom in here and maybe get rid of some of the fire behind his teeth. And then I'll blend it up a little bit with this pup. There you go. Now I'll get rid of it a little bit here. Blend it out. I'm using a kind of a smudge tool with a neat little bristle shape on it to kind of give it more of a natural thing. I use the same tool on Seymour's face by making it look like the hair was really coming out. Something else I haven't done yet. I have to get in here and draw a few whiskers, don't I? So I'm going to get a white tool. I'm going to turn my brush size down, and then I'll draw some whiskers coming out of him, just like that. That way it looks like the head isn't just chopped off and stuck on there. I'm actually making it look like he's really in there. It's funny what it takes for the ultra realism that we're going for here. You know, a cat monster breathing fire. It's definitely something we want to try for realism. Let's try the linear dodge. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. Keep it at screen. So sometimes when you do this kind of thing, the fire, you can see the fire is a little bit transparent there. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll add a layer, or I'll just kind of put some, I'll just literally just airbrush a little bit of black behind it, so that you can kind of see it better and it looks a little more realistic. All I'm doing is just I'm airbrushing black, because that way there's darker background behind that flame so that it pops better. And you can actually kind of see it better. That's another little trick that I've picked up over the years. Now, how do we make his mouth glowing? I think we should add a little bit of glow. Here's a fun trick that I'm going to do. I'm actually going to copy his mouth, and I'm going to paste it into its own layer. So now I've got a duplicate of his mouth. I'm actually going to turn up the brightness and contrast of that mouth. Turn up the brightness. And I'm going to add that screen effect to it so that there's a glow. And then I'll take my eraser and I'll just erase around the edge a little bit. There. So I've just brightened up the mouth a little bit so it's a little more like there's fire coming out of it. You know, what I'll even do is I'll take the photo filter and I'll warm it up. Maybe even turn up the lightness, saturation. I'll make the hue a little yellower. That really helps a lot, making it look like that fire is really coming out of the mouth hole. All right, so there you go. All that's left to do is to watermark it, put a little text in the bottom right hand corner so you know the page that created this latest amazing creation. I'll probably add a few finishing touches, but I'll probably upload this in the next few minutes or so. My name is Dave. I make cat pictures for a hobby, and if you want to support my hobby, it's patreon.com/catlasers with a Z. You can see the spelling right there on the screen. I appreciate those who actually do support me, and I'll hopefully see you for another video sometime soon. Cheers.